Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play the Occult Chronicles. In the last episode, we explored more of the west wing of the first floor and explored the backyard as well, something I rarely do in this game. And I actually took a chance and went back there before I was more prepared. Normally I would wait until I've completed the second floor before I actually step into the backyard, which might explain why I never get that quest from the Cenarian Witches completed. But we met those witches and we actually got the quest, and we've actually been completing quite a few of them in the last episode. Things are looking amazing for Dr. Whom II in terms of his psionic and magical aptitude, as we now have an 8 in wands and a 7 in pentacles. But he's not looking very good on the physical side, with a 4 in swords and a 3 in cups, and we're not going to be leveling those anymore. That's awful. You're going to see how awful that is later, I am sure. We still have only one talisman to our name, but we've already also maxed our sanity at 40 points. My goodness. It's going to take a lot to make us go insane, unless we draw an instant insanity card. We're doing well on the leveling front, as you can see as well. We've wrapped up one entire line on the mechanical devices specialist at the moment, and we're going to earn another psychic talent soon. We've picked up Torque Sense, which allows us to scry a card during all lockpicking attempts, and Precognition, so we get extra points when we use Domination. We have all the clue tokens I'm aware of that will be on the lowest floor, or the ground floor, and quite a few quests that we're looking to complete. We have Burst of Speed, which is going to be difficult for us to actually muster up that Burst of Speed, since if we roll a 4 or higher, we fail to actually achieve this. We have still our Dominate in the toolkit, and we have the Everlasting Chalice and the Touch of Paralysis. Let's go with that. But only one more energy for it. We really need to kind of get lucky and find astral energy somewhere around here so we can fully power it, so we can use it a little more often. We also have 2 Arcana cards. We are earning +2 Pentacles for the Magician and +1 Swords for Strength. My intention is to probably not scrap either of these, because we need the +2 Pentacles to give us a 6 effective pentacles. We can not fail casting spells. And our strength card is one of the only ways we'll be able to improve our swords attribute once we start finding melee weapons. Alright, so with all that said, let's pick up where we left off. You think you see a disembodied head floating in the gloom. As you near its location, you realize that it is the head of a man mounted on a stake that protrudes from the floor. Dried blood stains the stake, and what was once a pool on the floor. You are startled when the eyes of the head flutter open. This thing is animated by some curse or forbidden sorcery, and it almost seems to be smiling at you. You lock gazes with the head, and you feel chilled to the bone. You must fight to keep your sanity. Oh, the difficulty's 14 now on these checks. Wow. King of Cups and 2 Knights are our high cards. And 10 tricks on the board, so we should do well. We'll play the 4 on the Ace, hoping we can find a better card to play the Knight on. We have to play this Knight on that Ace because we don't have another Pentacles card, and now we win the challenge. We can take the 8 of Wands with our 9. We can take the 7 with our King. And we can take the 3 with our Knight. You smile back at the head on the stake. The head on the stake is obviously animated by some evil sorcery, most likely some necromantic artifice. Such a curse would require great power and forbidden knowledge. Its gaze is locked on you, and you sense an intelligence of some sort. My goodness, look how difficult its challenges are. We actually have a better chance of beating it up than we do talking with, well, we don't, but the difficulty is easier for talking with it than, attacking it than it is talking with it. Normally this is not the case, because this, once again, I always feel obligated to say stuff like this, because I want to warn you guys about some of the balance choices that went into this game. Normally, communicating with the head would be the easiest choice to do. We have 8 in wands, and fighting something that gives us a quest is generally very difficult to do. But in this case, it's a difficulty 14 to talking with the head. Thankfully, our wands also gives us 9 tricks, and because we are a linguist, we have 11 draw as well. Persuasion expert, right? So let's do this. You sense a desire to communicate with the head. It almost looks like it is trying to move its mouth. Maybe you should try to find out what the head wants. Queen of Cups and a King of Pentacles are our high cards. I don't feel like failing the challenge, so we'll play our queen immediately. Ooh, good thing we did that. Might have accidentally... Oh my goodness, look at all the cup cards up here. Not a single pentacles, though. The head speaks to you. Much to your horror, you find out that he was an occultist artifact collector who stumbled upon this place 15 years ago. He wants your help in a personal vendetta. The head was once a disciple of Thomas Vaughan, the 17th century alchemist. Using Vaughan's elixir, he had managed to extend his life immensely. He was searching for Vaughan's orb of transmutation on behalf of the Palladian Order. His search was cut treacherously short when he overconfidently approached a cursed guillotine. He thought that it might hide the artifact. In a trance, he placed his head inside the guillotine's lock and ended up in a basket. A mischievous imp thought he would make a nice decoration and mounted him here. He wants you to destroy the guillotine and break his curse. He teaches you a Vorchaduman release chant that will give you the power to safely dispel the sorcery that binds the curse to the guillotine. He then requests that you return to him afterwards to help free his soul. There's no reason why I should do that any longer. I should walk here, see that there's no event, and then walk back. We really want to avoid other traps. You have come face to face with a green ooze. You didn't even notice it at first. It sticks to the ceiling, hidden in the shadows, waiting in ambush. Suddenly, it drops to the floor with a sickening squishing sound and forms up in front of you. You feel a rush of adrenaline-fueled fear sweep over you. This lab experiment gone bad could mean the end of you. King of Pentacles, Page of Wands are our high cards. Queen of Swords can take our 2. 2 of Wands. I'll play the Page. 9 of Swords can take our 3. 8 of Cups. Queen of Pentacles, we have the King for you. You were part of the team that hunted down and eliminated the Lab 247 scientists. You've seen things far worse than this. It would make sense for Dr. Whom to do that, I suppose. You thought that the last of these Lab 257 experiments had been hunted down and destroyed. It seems that you were wrong. Try to recall the warnings from the briefings. The creature will try and suffocate you by enveloping you in its amorphous slimy tissues. This is one of the encounters where if you fail to fight it successfully or fail to run, you get a new encounter where you are engulfed in this thing. There's a handful of things which, when you failed your initial attempt to fight or flee, you're suddenly in a much worse situation. And it's tougher to get out of that situation, and you can die instantly. Normally for the green slime, you can only attack it. There's no other choice. I added the option to freeze it. So let's freeze it. These things are incredibly tough and are known to be able to regenerate damaged tissue unless they are frozen. Granted, there's a great deal of ooze here, but you're confident you can put this thing on ice. Well, there's most of the wand face cards, and we also have a Knight of Cups and a Page of Pentacles, so I don't see this going poorly for us. I want to make sure we win, so we're going to use the Touch of Paralysis. We succeeded. 1 card. So I'm going to place... Oh, it has to be a non-face card. Okay, my plan was to put the Queen up here so I could take it with the King. But I can't do that. So let's put the 4. And we drew another page. Oh, I think we drew the Queen of Pentacles. Nice. Okay, so we exchanged that with a different card. Let's start flipping. King of Cups. There goes our Knight of Cups. 5 of Wands. We know we put a 4 of Wands up here. Let's play the King. 10 of Wands. We'll play the Page. 5 of Cups. We'll play this page. 7 of Wands. There's lots of Wands cards up here, huh? We can play the Queen. 2 of Pentacles. We play the Queen. King of Pentacles. He can take our page. Ace of Swords will take the 5. And we take back our 4 of Wands with the 6. The creature's overconfidence proves its undoing. It attempts to engulf you from all directions. When it does, you cast an ice nova centered around yourself and catch every inch of the creature in it. You smile to yourself. Overconfidence can be a slow and insidious killer. I think that's an okay description. Bandolier. This stores bullets. It has 5 ammo in it at the moment, but we don't have a gun. Hopefully we'll find the gun room and get a gun that can be reloaded in it. 4 experience is nice, though. Let's spend that immediately. Twist Fate. Roll 1 bone and test for success, then add 1 to all bone rolls during the resolution. So this gives you... If we were to use Twist Fate and then use Dominate, and we roll a 6, we actually roll a 7, and we gain 8 points because of our 1 edge. It's a very situational, however, talent. It also affects all bones we roll, which is bad, because we don't want cups to roll higher than a 3, which is what this would do, so we don't want Twist Fate. Vaporize Mind. Roll 1 bone and add X points to your trick-taking score, where X is the number of wands rolled. Then add a trick to the field if space is available. This is nice. It plays with our edge and just gives us free points. Mesmerize. Select a non-face card in your hand with value Y. Roll 1 bone and add X points to your trick-taking score, where X number of wands rolled, if X is higher than or equal to Y. Discard that card. Oh, and draw a new one. Okay, this whole time I'm wondering why on earth I would want to use this. Because you get points if you roll higher than the card you're trying to discard. And you get to discard that card and draw a new one. That's interesting. So, that would work well with Twist Fate, but I don't want to take Twist Fate and then Mesmerize. Terror. Roll 1 bone and select a matching numerical pair of non-face cards in your hand and discard those cards. Add the numerical value to your trick-taking score. Then add a trick to the field of space available. Wow, so if you get lucky enough to get 2 5s, you can use Terrorize to discard both 5s. You get 10 points, and then you add a trick to the board. Very situational. I feel like we should really take one of these two. We'll take Vaporize Mind. I think it's easy. It's an easy choice. Just roll 1 bone, get points. Add a trick. Although this would... There's no guarantee that the card I draw is better than the card I'm discarding. So Vaporize Mind it is. And let's pick a Psychic Talent's Edge. We'll search the mail room. You see a bunch of papers spread out on top of a desk. Among the clutter are an assortment of old envelopes, letters, and even a few parchment papers. Let's search through them. Oh my goodness, difficulty 14. Game, what the heck? You decide to search through the papers. You never know what type of useful information you might find there. King of Swords, Knight of Swords, Page of Swords, and that are our high cards. 10s or lower for everything else. We should still do well. I'm willing to risk that there is another sword card up here. Maybe we'll find the queen, and we'll play the knight to start. Uh-oh. Well, now with only 4 cards left, I will play the king. Okay, we did it. 9 over? That's pretty good. You don't come across anything earth-shattering, but there is enough information here to boost your confidence that you're on the right track. This is part of a quest. This is part of a quest. This is part of the Alchemist and or Tiger Ghost guy quest. I have Rashaka. That's what it is. Rashaka. The haunt. Okay, so we have another class 1 haunting. So we've read about this in the past, so we won't read this again. Let's destroy the ghost. There's a chance we can gain arcane energy by using psychic power to destroy it. So let's try it. We have a Knight of Cups and a Queen of Pentacles are our high cards. Pair of Knights, actually. 10 of Swords can get the Ace. 8 of Swords. 7 of Cups will play the Knight to at least reduce the damage we're going to take. We win the challenge. We only have a handful of cards left now, so I feel like we should probably play the Queen. The Knight can take everything below the Queen anyway, if we get another Pentacles card. And we do get the Page of Pentacles, so our Knight can take that, and we win. You engage in a psychic duel with the ghost. It turns its mindless anger and desperation against you, but you prevail. You feel that whatever it was before would thank you for the peace you gave it. Oh. All filled up on courage. We'll have to start trying to use that card when we get a chance. Burst of speed. Your attention is drawn to a magnificent grandfather clock that dominates its section of the room. Constructed out of rich mahogany, its exterior is decorated with ornate friezes and carvings. Its large brass pendulum hangs motionless but frozen oddly at a slight angle. You've had your fair share of encounters with possessed or cursed furniture, and you don't sense anything supernatural here. There is something strange, however. An aura or energy of some sort is being hidden here. It is hard, though, not to be awestruck by the quality of the craftsmanship that went into building the clock. Perhaps it's meant as a distraction. You notice that the main assembly housing contains a multitude of gears, pins, and even tubes. Many seem like they have been added haphazardly. The clock isn't even working. You should be able to follow the possessed organ's instructions and find and remove the missing parts. 5 tricks makes this tricky. Oh, we drew. So it's good. We have a King of Wands and Knight of Wands, Page of Wands, but we also have a few other wand cards. So the odds of these being wands is low. Queen of Swords shows up first. We need to play the king and win the challenge. If you lose this challenge, a trap springs on top of you, a gas trap. I would like to avoid taking damage from it. You have to do some digging, but you manage to retrieve the parts. Nice, we get 2 experience points as well, huh? Psychic challenging. Gain X additional uses of any psychic talent in all challenges. Whenever a psychic pushback is generated from the use of psychic talents, subtract 10% times X of pushback value. Whenever you're successful, if you possess at least 1 psychic talent card, extra. So energy focus I'm thinking about. Fire starting could also be useful. Let's grab fire starting. I think we'll draw more cards in every psychic or combat challenge. And then I think we'll take an Eldritch Spell's Edge. So with the parts recovered, we could go and turn that quest in, but we'll probably be going up to the 2nd floor. We're not in a rush to turn them in this time because we're not on a time limit. So we can just mosey on down this hallway and see what else is waiting for us here. This feels like where the Rashaka is going to be. Here's a small pile of junk cluttering up a section of the floor. Upon closer examination, you see an assortment of typical cast-off items, broken pieces of this or that. We could find rope here or a sledgehammer, so we want to really, really succeed at this challenge. Hopefully we will. It doesn't look like much, but it might be worth investigating. 2 kings. King of Swords, King of Cups are our high cards, without many other Swords or Cups cards in our hands, so hopefully we can play both of them here. 9 of Wands. We have a 10 of Wands for you. 9 of Cups. We win the challenge. God, I hope we can play that king. We can. No pentacles. Interesting. You can find the strangest things in junk piles. Not guaranteed to find anything. We find a feat. Calm sidestep. Oh, that's a shame. We don't have the room in our cups inventory to take that. Oh man, so I have to discard something that holds bullets, or I have to maybe discard Burst of Speed to take Calm Sidestep. What does Calm Sidestep do? Roll 1 bone, and then select a not revealed trick card and reveal it. If the revealed card is a face card, then add 2 times X to your trick points taken score, where X is the number of cups rolled. Then draw a card. We don't have a gun. We don't have a gun. It really sucks that I have to discard something. God, I wish we could have increased our cups more than just once from that skill card. I might be really glad to have a gun. The gun will go into our swords inventory. I'm going to discard the bandolier to claim Calm Sidestep. It gives us room for another feat as well, so. Why'd I do that? There's no reason to search the room. You see a large marble fireplace decorated with ornate sculptures. But what really astonishes you is the fire burning within the hearth. The flames dance around and lick the walls of the fireplace, almost as if it were some type of living entity. Then it strikes you. A demonic face appears in the flames, and the sudden realization that this creature has noticed you sends a wave of horror rolling over you. You struggle to keep calm and not give in to panic. You're looking straight in the face of some type of flaming evil horror. It seeks to dominate your mind, and you know that you must not let that happen. Knight of Wands, Page of Swords. Well, we have the knight to take the 9. Oh, Page of Cups. You can have our ace. Take the 9 with our page. The 7 can get our 3. King can get our 8, and we win. Your will is stronger than this evil creature of flame. You force it out of your mind and hold on to your sanity. The face in the fire smiles at you. This demonic creature must have been bound to this fireplace. How long ago and by whom are questions that you cannot answer. You cautiously step forward so that you can examine the situation in more detail. The demon seems contained within the hearth, but you have no idea how strong his binding there is. This must be the worthless servant that the demon in the broken circle was talking about. You inch forward to see if you can spot the piece of paper with the writing on it. We have 2 knights. Swords and Wands are high cards. Queen of Swords. Well, you can have our ace, Queen. King of Swords. You can have our 4. 6 of Wands can have the knight. King of Pentacles can get our 8. That 7 get our 6. And we win the challenge. And we have a few points over. My goodness, look at all the face cards that were up here waiting to take our cards away from us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Woo! You quickly spot the slip of paper on the mantel next to an old clock. You quickly grab it and tuck it back, slipping the paper into your pocket. Let's also speak with this demon. Something strange is going on here. You sense the opportunity to communicate with the demon and perhaps figure out how it was bound here, and for what purpose. King of Cups, and then we have a Ten of Swords or our high cards. Knight of Wands, you can have our 3. Nine of Cups, you can have our King. Page of Pentacles, have our Ace. 8 of Pentacles can have our 5. Nine of Wands can have our 6. 10 of Wands can have our 7. Knight of Swords can have our 7. My God! Thank you, King. If we didn't have that, we would have lost this. Using the lost sign language of Chaldash, you establish contact with the demon. The demon states that it was recently bound here by an acolyte claiming to serve some dark master. It's clear that the demon thought the human insane and dabbling in things that were way over his head. The acolyte somehow managed to find the list of demonic names and binding rituals in some forgotten tome. The demon says that the acolyte would write them on small enchanted slips of paper. He believes his own name to be in the acolyte's pocket. He perished a few short hours ago when he foolishly attempted to summon and bind another demon, but got the slips of paper mixed up. Find the acolyte's body, then bring the name to the demon, and he will reward you. Your attention is drawn to the burnt corpse sitting in the charred yet still comfortable leather chair. The smell of burnt human flesh is overwhelming at first. You've encountered it before, and no matter how often you have experienced it, it always initiates a slight gag reflex. You take a closer look at the body to see if you can figure out what happened. That's when the hands unclench from the armrest and beckon you closer. Your eyes widen in disbelief as the burnt corpse motions you closer. "Come here, will you?" it whispers in a long, drawn-out moan. 2 knights, 1 of swords, 1 of cups are our high cards, and we immediately use that on the 7. Take the page with the other knight, and we win the challenge. If it wasn't for the fact we can gain courage from this, I would just stop the horror challenges now. But because we picked up Calm Sidestep, I want courage to fill that feat. You see things far worse than this. In fact, a few years back, you were assigned to a detail that had to clean up after an Agent Sherman mess. One cursed body doesn't even come close. You can get edge upgrades from this? I guess our Aura of Fortune is coming into play here. So I think we want either Precognition to get 2 points whenever we use our psychic talents, or another point in Torque Sense to scry another card. Let's start with Torque Sense. The creature does not seem to be able to leave its chair, being partially melted into the back of it. You think you hear something. The burnt corpse talks in the slightest audible whisper. Its mouth barely moves. "Don't smoke." This thing almost seems seared into the chair. The fingers are what catch your eye. So this is what the gentleman ghost meant? They do indeed look like cigars. You just had to grab a bunch of them. Queen of Cups, Page of Cups. As long as we don't have the King of Cups up here, we'll win this challenge if any Cups is present. 2 of Cups. We'll immediately play the Queen and win the challenge. I don't know what happens if you lose this challenge, and I would rather not find out. We can't use psychic talents here either, or spells, because this is a physical test, not an actual fight. There was the King of Cups, so good thing we used the Page, as I had the Queen there. My goodness. You touch a few fingers and put them in your pocket. Not able to leave its chair, the creature howls in anger. I feel like the gargoyle's in that room. We should search this one first, though. You see the outline of its distinctive shape in the gloom. It still takes you a second or two to realize exactly what it is. A guillotine. This, however, is no normal guillotine. The mouton and blade pull-up high glistens with wet blood, and the bascule seems to beckon to you. You feel tired suddenly, and then you realize that you have somehow unknowingly taken a few more steps towards the death machine. You feel a wave of panic engulf you as you realize that this cruel instrument of death is slowly drawing you closer. You realize that you must resist its siren call, or risk losing sanity, and possibly just your head. Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Swords are our high cards. Queen of Wands can get our 5. Page of Swords can get our Knight. Wonderful. 5 points to start. Will stop us from getting any closer to that guillotine. I have yet to fail this challenge. The horror check here, arguably. I don't know if something awful happens if you do fail it. You will your feet to stand their ground and shield your mind from whatever foul sorcery is at work here. You stand before a work of art. Polished wood and burnished brass fittings adorn the guillotine. The craftsmanship is astonishing, and the splattered blood detracts it not at all. You can also sense the arcane curse that has bound an evil spirit to this horrible contraption. How many victims have caught sight of it only to find themselves sleepwalking to their doom? The release phrase taught to you by the head on the stake should sever the nexus of the curse that binds the wicked spirits inhabiting the guillotine. Let's hope you were paying attention. Klaatu, Baratu, Necktie? Page of Cups, Knight of Swords, 5 tricks. Okay, we don't want to risk losing, so we'll play the Knight of Swords on the 6. Okay, thank God. And the Page of Cups on the 9, and we win the challenge. You have a Pentacle card? We do. 10. Oh, good thing we played what we did. We would have lost otherwise if we played the 10 or 7 on that on that 6 of Swords. You feel the nexus snap as the curse is broken, and the spirit swirls away into some other alien dimension. Your attention is drawn to the clattering sounds of wood striking wood. You could swear you were hearing wooden shoes scampering around in the gloom in front of you. Suddenly you see a small group of porcelain dolls scurrying towards you. Animated by some strange sorcery or curse, these dolls look angry, and they are armed as well. This isn't something that you see every day. A murderous gang of porcelain dolls heading towards you and obviously intent on spilling your blood. You stand there amazed, caught between panic because of the danger and the laughter at the absurdity of the scene. King of Wands, 10 of Swords are our high cards. Always like being able to take a face card when we have one as well. The horror only toys with you before you brush it aside. I approve. The toys jump around you like maniacal goblins looking for treats on Halloween. They swing and jab their blades at you. Oddly, one of the dolls is carrying around a ragged doll of its own. Do you remember an old case file about insane toy maker Henry Stoff, who captured children's souls and imprisoned them in toys? Could this be a Stoff collection? You realize this is not going to end well. You're either going to have to fight or flee. So this is part of a quest. And I don't... well, we have a chance of fleeing. I guess we'll try running. Knight of Cups. We'll use Burst of Speed, because why not? Wow, we succeeded. I wasn't expecting that. Let's choose the 6 and the 9. We can play the Knight to get 4 points. And then play the 10 to win? That worked. You muster all your courage and turn and run the way you came. You soon find yourself in safety. Don't ever pick cards from winning a fleet challenge. The only thing that's waiting for you are loss of courage cards. Yeah, we're going to use this whenever we get a chance to use it, because why not? Why not? We have the courage, and we definitely don't want to... if we're fleeing, it's important enough that I want to succeed at the fleeing attempt. They're part of a quest where we have to find a little girl who wants her missing doll, which was mentioned in the description of those dolls. Your attention is drawn to an old portrait hanging on a wall. It portrays a man dressed in the early 19th century attire holding a dueling pistol. He seems eager to use it. A chill shoots on your spine as you notice the figure in the portrait raise his pistol and point it at you. Your eyes widen in disbelief as the figure in the portrait cocks the dueling pistol with a maniacal smile on his face. You wonder how a ghost pistol works. King of Swords, Queen of Cups. I don't think we're going to fail the horror challenge. We also have a Queen of Pentacles, apparently. And a Knight. No reason not to play the Queen, since the Knight takes everything below it. I'll play the 9. We don't need to play the Knight of Pentacles yet. Ah, that sucked. I mean, it doesn't matter. We won a long time ago. You stare down the duelist. The ghostly duelist remains poised for a duel. You sense that is what it wants. The first move, however, seems to be yours. But I think we can actually speak with it. You decide to use your psychic talents as a medium to talk to the belligerent ghost and find out what it knows. Hanging on the wall for so long, he must have seen a lot of interesting things. Normally I find the first encounter for this, which is a different ghost, the ghost of a coward, that he's supposed to duel. We have 2 kings in our hand. So as long as we get one of those kings to show up, and we do, we'll win the challenge. I don't feel like losing this one. I don't know what happens if we do lose it. I so very rarely am able to actually get this quest, because I think you need a 4 wands and pentacles in order to get it. You enter a trance and soon manage to establish a psychic contact. The ghost is actually pleased to be able to converse with you. It seems it has a problem that you can solve. I thought for a moment that you were the coward's second, but he will not show himself. You haven't by chance seen that groveling cur anywhere. There is a matter to be settled on the field of honor, and I demand satisfaction. The ghostly duelist wants you to find his opponent and tell him that he is a coward of no small measure and demand that he show up at the appointed hour. Oh, the boxing ring is here. Okay. Your attention is drawn to an old tapestry hanging on the wall that depicts a medieval battle of some sort. It looks like it should be in a museum. To examine the battle scene a little closer, you immediately notice a large red hand that divides 2 groups of armored knights. Suddenly the battle seems to come to life. Knights charge the hand on both sides and are knocked to the ground. You stare at it in amazement, wondering if you are hallucinating. Your eyes widen in disbelief as the battle unfolds before you. A ghostly vapor seems to enshroud the tapestry. Wow! Queen of Cups, 2 knights. 3 knights. 3 knights? 2 knights. Pfft. Hello, King of Cups. You can have our 2. Uh-oh. Okay, good. I was a little worried no Cups would show up. Wow! And they almost did it. We almost lost that horror check. You remember the night you spent at that museum at the Mistonic University. If you could survive that, then this should be no problem. The tapestry is obviously animated by some type of sorcery. It might even be possessed by some malign spirit. You should proceed with caution. It isn't unheard of for something like this to function as a doorway or portal to another dimension. Once in, you might not get back out. This is part of a quest, the second part, so we'll just leave it alone. You notice an odd painting hanging on the wall. There's a portrait of a man dressed in 19th century clothing who appears to be completely petrified with fear. He holds a dueling pistol in both hands, and a group of undertakers in the background seem to be digging a grave. Suddenly, the portrait seems to animate and come to life. The coward looks at you with an imploring expression as if he was seeking your help. You could swear that you can hear the gravediggers laughing. You stare at the man in the painting, and his fear seems contagious. You the fight to keep your sanity. Queen of Wands, 10 of Wands. I'll risk that our queen can be used on a better card. Oh, we have no swords cards? Uh-oh. We We might not get oh, well, that's good. Okay, we won the challenge. We'll play the queen now. In a playful way, you exclaim boo to the ghost, and he starts to shake and sob uncontrollably. The coward in the portrait seems to be actually shivering. He seems to be fumbling with his dueling pistol, and you fear he will discharge it accidentally. There's obviously a spirit trapped in the painting by some sorcerer's curse. This is obviously the cowardly dueling opponent that you are seeking. Insulting this sad creature seems like a waste of time. Use your psychic talents as a medium to convey the insult, and then try to trick him into showing up for the duel. Or we could flee. Let's see. Queen of Wands, Knight of Cups. Sure, we'll win the challenge. You enter a trance. That's a shame, by the way, right there. You enter a trance and are able to converse with the ghost. You trick the ghost into thinking that its opponent only wants to talk. It agrees to show up for a talk at the appointed time. Wow! I know you can actually decide to go in his stead. Oh. Okay, we could volunteer to duel in the ghost's place. You know, I've never completed this quest by tricking him. We'll see what that does, and we'll turn it in right now. Another Class 1 haunting. Well, we're going to... Wow, we're going to melt it. We have quite a few face cards. King of Cups and 2 Queens are our high cards. 1 of Swords, 1 of Cups. No reason not to immediately win the challenge, I suppose. The only thing the Queen of Swords can take that the Page of Swords cannot is the Knight. I don't think the Knight's up here. But the odds of it is not very good. I'm sorry, we had the Knight of Swords, so it didn't matter anyway. So I was right, it wasn't up there. Ah! We're just decimating this poor ghost. Slaughtered. Courage! Courage! 7 courage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You decide to tell the ghostly duelist that your... I can't pronounce that. Has been communicated and acknowledged. Indeed, you suspect he will be there at the appointed time. The ghostly duelist snorts. He won't show. I will never have the satisfaction that I deserve. Imagine that she chose him over me. You are certain that this ghost will never pass on until the matter is somehow resolved. But I thank you nonetheless. Here's a token of my gratitude. Oh, wow. Well, that was awful. 1 experience point only. That sucked. Oh well. Was hoping for an Arcana card or something. There probably isn't another... Oh, there is an encounter, but not the one I thought it was going to be. You hear the sound of a straining metal above you and a sudden crack. You look up to see a massive glass of metal chandelier falling directly towards you. So... Okay, oh thank God. The game's being very kind to me with this trap because we only have a difficulty of 7, thanks to Cups. So we have a much better chance of a smart sidestep. Arguably, we do. I generally don't like 10 tricks. It doesn't make me feel better. I want more draw than tricks, but we'll go with this. You judge the trajectory of the falling chandelier and notice that you can shuffle over to one side to avoid it entirely. Now this is an evade trap card, so we're going to immediately use calm sidestep, which we succeeded. Select 1 not revealed trick card. If one of the revealed cards is a face card, then add 6 points to your taken score. Nope, not it. It was just as you thought. There was a safe spot and you found it. Somebody should give you bonus points for style. Good God! I was so nervous when all we kept flipping over was just cups cards. There was another encounter in this room. Oh. You stop as soon as you catch sight of the lone figure near the wall. You might have thought that he was a statue standing there, as his only movement in the gloom was the slow, labored rise and fall of his chest as he drew breath. Without warning, he bursts out into a maniacal cackle that sends a shiver down your spine. You have no doubt that you are hearing the laughter of the insane. The maniacal laughter is truly disturbing as it echoes around the room and out the doors. King and a queen. Both of swords are what we have for our high cards. And we pass a horror check, able to use our pages. A gaunt, thoroughly insane man wielding a bloody axe lunges towards you. You are certain that there is no way to reason with him, so you can save questions for later. So, he can give you a wound, so he's dangerous. He also can give you an axe. If you lose, there's a chance you get a wound, which is awful. If you win, there's a chance you get an axe, which is great. We would like that axe. You size him up and decide that you can take him. Hopefully he's just your normal axe-wielding lunatic and not some super-strength fanatic fueled by incomprehensible dark forces. Well, it's not a good hand. Well, it's not a bad hand either. Knight of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. We need 2 Pentacle cards up there, and neither of them can be a queen or a king if we really want to be able to win this challenge. Right, 8 of Cups, we have a 9. 5 of Pentacles, we win the challenge. 7 of Pentacles, we get a few extra points. And a few more. And almost would have gotten those too. Very kind of you, game. Thank you. You make crazy short work of the lunatic, and his axe doesn't even touch you. Screw you, game. Okay, we'll end the episode by completing the boxing challenge. You see the unmistakable outlines of an old boxing ring. You guess that it's been years since it last was used, and it's covered in dust and the ropes seem old and frayed. Even now, though, you can smell the stale odor that permeates most gyms. Suddenly, you realize that there is a figure standing in front of the ring. A ghostly apparition of a boxing manager looks over to you and motions for you to come over. A wave of panic sweeps over you. The attention that you have drawn from this ghost makes you very uncomfortable. 2 kings? That's pretty good for a horror challenge. 1 of Pentacles, 1 of Cups. And we get to take the page with our king. That's always very nice. No reason to hold on to that king now. You've kept your sanity. Now you must decide how to respond to the ghost's solicitation. The ghostly boxing manager keeps waving you over. It obviously wants to communicate with you. You decide to use your psychic talents as a medium to find out what the ghostly manager wants from you. King of Cups, Page of Swords are our high cards. You can take the 6. Take the Ace. Take the 8. Take that 8. Now we're really winning the challenge. Nice. Hear all those delicious dings. You enter a trance and begin speaking with the ghostly boxing manager. He has a series of fights lined up for you, and he's anxious to get you into the ring. Ooh, we're back, everyone. Oh, of course I didn't hit stop recording. Of course I didn't. Sorry, everyone. I'm totally not going to edit this out either. I'm going to forget. So, really quick, today, the day I'm recording this video, is August 19th, 2023. And as you may or may not know, I have been caring for a stray cat and her kittens in my house. I cannot keep any of them. Or rather, I could keep one, but it will be very difficult to keep more than one. This house is not big enough for more than one cat. And while I love all of them, my health is awful. And unfortunately, I can't really have pets. What this translates to is that I've given them a good past month so far in my house, and they've been wonderful to care for. But I'm looking forward to giving them to someone else, a rescue to take them. The mother has already been spayed and vaccinated, and checked for leukemia and feline HIV, and tested negative on those things, and she's also been dewormed. A friend of mine will be taking her into his home in mid-September, so probably about 3 weeks from now. The little ones, though, we've been struggling to get, by we I mean people who have been reaching out to help me, have been struggling to find an appointment to get them spayed and vaccinated. And I finally got a call from one of the rescues who was like, hey, September 8th, we got an appointment for those three. So be it. They'll be with me for another 3 weeks, just about. Is that correct? Just under 3 weeks, so they'll be just about 4 months old by the time that they go in. My goodness. Hopefully, everything remains somewhat acceptable for my health. I guess we'll keep going this tangent for another minute or two. I'm sorry, viewer, I'm sorry. I have not been doing well health-wise. I have been having something like weird food poisoning. It reminds me of having a Crohn's flare. Let's just say that my plumbing has been having issues. My pipes are very painful at the moment, and it's not pleasant. I had really bad acid in my chest and throat last night also. I have not had this happen in many years, and it feels a little different than a Crohn's flare. Getting some blood work done, I have apparently almost no white blood cells. So something horrific is happening to Tim. And either I can't fight this off, or I need help. It's been ongoing for a month. It's been awful. I might have to be hospitalized for a bit. People can watch the cats and take care of them over that time if it comes down to it. But it's yet another reminder that Tim doesn't get to have someone live with him. Alright, so let's pick this back up. I knew you could do it, Slugger. So now all you gotta do is jump in that ring 3 times and win, win, win. 3 fights are set up for you and 3 titles are up for grabs. A ghostly crowd has suddenly gathered all around the boxing ring. You see the ghost of an attractive woman holding up a card above her head as she strolls around the ring. You can't quite out what's on it. Get into the ring. Oh, this is going to be awful. This should be easy. All you have to do is pull yourself up and climb into the ring. Yeah, but it's a cups challenge. Knight of Cups and 2 10s are our high cards. Let's see. We get to play one of the 10s. Oh, thank God. Okay, and we get to play our knight, so we do win the challenge. The ropes part and you bounce in with a flourish. You're off to a good start. Game, thank you for being so kind to give me so many points for that. If you fail, I don't think you can get any impairments or instant insanities, but it's embarrassing. Like, you suffer sanity loss and the game mocks you. You have to keep trying to get into that ring. You look over at your first ghost opponent. He looks like a lightweight. You can't figure out who this fighter was in his previous life. Your manager comes up to you and whispers, "Watch out for this guy. He could punch you in the neck and break your ankle." Suddenly, you feel very afraid. You struggle to control the panic rising inside of you. Yes, you have to pass horror checks for each of these first. Kind of wish there wasn't as many horror checks in the game either. It's a bit... I don't know. I mean, I don't find the card game to be that interesting to make me play it for horror checks all the time. You have kept your sanity. Now you need to kick some ghost butt. Yeah, you get nothing for it at this point either. Come on, game. The bell's about to ring. You're standing in your corner ready to go out and fight. You're not sure how you actually box a ghost. Probably with your mind, you suppose? You will try and enter a trance and fight the ghost psychically. King of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. Do we have every single ace in our hand? No, we don't have swords. We have all the other ones. We shouldn't need to make it to use any psychic talents for this, I hope. We win the challenge. Really, game? You're not going to give me any sword cards? You are. You're going to give me the ace. Right, well, whatever. We take it. We could still use a psychic challenge to get more points, but no, we'll just win this one. You enter a trance and then hear the bell ring. You pummel the poor ghost senseless. You are declared the winner. Nothing for it. Well, 1 sanity, but we don't keep sanity now. You look over at your next ghost opponent. He looks like a middleweight. Once again, you can't figure out who this fighter was in his previous life. Your mentor comes up to you and gives you some advice. Once that bell rings, you're on your own. It's just you and the other guy. Now you're very afraid. I don't know if this is quoting movies or what have you, or if Vic came up with this himself. This is hilarious. I love this. This manager is completely useless. This one looks bigger and stronger. You struggle to control the panic rising inside of you. Queen of Cups, Page of Swords are high cards. And we won the challenge. Since we can get things like edge upgrades, there's no reason not to keep playing this game. You've kept your sanity. Now you need to kick some more ghost butt. The bell's about to ring. You're standing in your corner ready to go out and fight. You won the last one, but this guy looks bigger and stronger. Hopefully your psychic talents are up for this. Ooh, an awful hand? Knight of Pentacles is our only high card. Face card. We have a 10 of something as well. I'm willing to use one of these this time around. Yeah, we'll use Dominate. We earn 6 points. Now we get to choose a card, and if it's a face card, we earn 7 points, sorry, because I have 1 edge. If we win the card, if it's a face card, we earn 3 more points. It was not a face card. It's discarded. We couldn't take it anyway, so I guess I'm glad it's gone. 3 of Swords, we can take it with our 6, and now we've won. 8 of Wands. 9 of Pentacles, and we've won the challenge with 9 over. That is acceptable to me. Wow, game. F you. If we didn't do that, we earned 7 points. We still would have won 4, 6. We would have barely won, I think, if we didn't use that one talent. Look at all the face cards that showed up again to take all of our stuff. My goodness. This fight is a lot tougher. You exchange psychic punches and circle around each other. After a flurry of blows, you hear your opponent cry out, "No mas!" And the fight is over. You look over at your last ghost opponent. He looks like a heavyweight. You can't figure out who this fighter was in his previous life. Your manager comes up to you and whispers some last words of advice. It's what you do with fear that matters. You struggle to control the panic rising inside of you. It's rippling with ghost muscles. The Queen of Wands, Knight of Wands. Uh-oh. Okay. I might not win this one. You've kept your sanity. Now you need to go out there and show them who the champion is. So I can leave this alone right now, and I'm going to leave it alone so we can get rid of that psychic pushback that we picked up. You decide that you aren't really ready or trained for this. Beating the Crusher standing across from you was a long shot. We can come back and complete that later. What do we have for Eldritch Edges? Whenever a spell of the Eldritch subtype is cast, face cards can be targeted for bumping their values up or down. I don't remember what we have. We have something that replaces a trick, I think. Non-face cards can be bumped up to face cards. We don't have 2 Eldritch cards yet. Gain X additional uses of all spells. Whenever a spell of the Eldritch subtype is cast, it requires a card to be selected as a target. Target up to X additional cards, if possible. Where X is the value of the edge. I don't think we can use that with our 1 card. I don't remember what we have. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab... This is kind of lame. We're going to grab Music of this Meta Magic. This will lower... Well, then again, I do like having more cards in my inventory. Sorry, drawn. So we won't benefit from this at the moment because we only have 1 spell. But if we pick up another Eldritch spell, we will gain X additional cards at the start of all challenges in which we can play sorcery. And I guess we'll earn another Eldritch spell. What's our spell do again, by the way? Roll 1 bone and then select X non-face cards. Oh, we could have used a mark in your hand and then switch them randomly with X not revealed trick. Okay, so we want mark as another edge. Okay, we're gonna want mark as another edge. All right, so let's stop here. Thank you all for watching. And when we come back, we're going upstairs to the 2nd floor finally. So I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching, everyone, and take care.